Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fun-filled, action-packed, adventurous episode of the Cult Cast. Ladies and gentlemen, today on the Cult Cast, we have very esteemed guest, OG in the YouTube game, ZZ Toastie. ZZ Toastie, why don't you go ahead and say something to them real fast?
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
Great intro. Amazing intro. We have Dion here subbing. If you're watching the Cult Cast right now on YouTube, go subscribe to my homie Dion. That's the GOAT. We're definitely gonna get him on an episode in the future, but you know what I'm saying, let me cook. But yeah, so today we have a bunch of topics on the table. I'm gonna be talking about like some cartoon shit. You know, if you want to relive your childhood, go down memory lane type beat, we're gonna be talking about that. But the topic I wanted to start off with right as we started this episode of the pod, cartoons versus Amine. What you thinking? Because if y'all don't know this about Toastie, a couple years ago, my boy was heavy in his animation bag. You feel me? He was like, he was a lover of anime. You know what I mean? Or not anime, animation, I should say. Yeah. So I feel like you got some nice little truth nuggets you could drop on us.
All right, so I'm gonna keep it real.
Hit us.
So if you want like depth, whatever, like anime will give that to you more often than not, right? But the few cartoons that have depth are also better paced than anime.
Ooh. So which cartoons you talking about?
All right, so like, look, listen, right? So if you're gonna sit here and you're gonna watch, Full Alchemist, which most people are gonna watch, or fucking Hunter x Hunter, which,
I feel bad.
You're gonna get like some good shit in there, right? Like it's a good show, right? But right. You're gonna have to watch like 100 and some episodes. For Full Metal, it's like 62. But like for Hunter x Hunter, you can watch 150 some episodes,
right?
And you're not even getting the full story, right? Cartoons, most of the time, they don't got source material, right? There is no like manga to preface the actual cartoon. They just make it, and they finish the script most of the time.
Damn.
For example, one of my favorite cartoons, Spectacular Spider-Man, it was written for more than what the show actually covered. The only reason it stopped is because of Disney, right? So like, frankly, it just feels like it's better planned out when it comes from something like that than, because like, look right here, listen. Imagine if Bleach, right? Because you remember Bleach back when it actually was airing, right?
Right.
And how it had fucking filler out the ass every 5 minutes.
Right.
And even like sometimes there'd be just one filler episode that would just like hit you in the face. Same with Naruto. Same with Dragon Ball. Like there's just always filler that fucks the pacing up. And sometimes it's good, but sometimes it sucks ass.
That's real shit.
Cartoons don't have that issue, right? So like I just feel like that is really the issue with anime most times. Because like if we didn't have that, like Thousand Year Blood War didn't happen now and it happened back then, it'd be a major L. Because then you'd have to deal with all of his health issues at that time, which means that the story would consistently get halted. You wouldn't get the high quality and like high octane version that you getting right now. You wouldn't get that. We know we wouldn't have gotten this Thousand Year Blood War 10 years ago.
So what you saying is American animators low key like putting their foot on Japanese animators' necks and was like, "Hey, bro, you want to pick up this pace a little bit," type shit. Because I feel like the pacing issue is actually something that is real, right? I think like in a I don't know how it is in like Japan, because I'm not Japanese. I don't know if y'all knew that, but I'm not Japanese, right? So I don't know what like how anime or manga is viewed in Japan. I don't know if it's viewed similarly to how cartoons are viewed here. But like here in America, you know what I'm saying? And I think in most Western parts of the world, like cartoons are like considered to be for children. You know what I mean? Like when I think of cartoons, like I'm thinking of like shit like Ed, Edd and Eddy. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of shit like Tom and Jerry. I'm thinking of shit like fucking, I don't know, like whatever the fuck, And these things for sure, like do seem like they're more geared or targeted, towards kids. But then, you also get shit like Swagatar. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, Swagatar is kind of him.
And someone like brought up, they said, oh, it's less common that anime is actually having filler now, because that was like more of an issue back in the 2010s, right?
Yeah.
But now it's even a bigger issue, right? Because now it's seasonal, right? So first of all, you're getting part of the story, and then you have to wait another year before you get a part of the story, right? Which, I mean, you could say that for cartoons too, but there isn't like a source material that already exists where people can already look at it and know what's going to happen.
Also,
right?
also like you'll wait a year if your anime is one of the poppin' anime or some shit, right? Like how long we been waiting for Vinland season 2? That I wish that shit came in a year. That would have been fire.
Yeah.
But we've been waiting so fucking long. And sometimes you don't even know if you're getting a second season. Like, how is it that after every part of JoJo's that airs, JoJo's fans are like, damn, we just don't know if we're gonna get the next part. Like, that is incredibly whack. Like, what the fuck?
Nah, literally one of the biggest sports anime ever fucking made. And that like is over 1,000 chapters, Hajime no Ippo. That got a season 4 in like 2014, and we have never seen it again. And frankly, we might never see it again.
Damn.
There's like over half of that manga, which is more than like 500 chapters, is not covered. And we are probably never going to see it animated. Like, that's the issue. Like, since it's like, I feel like with anime, they're like way less, like they have the need to like immediately jump on it, right? And they really want to immediately cover it. Like, think about things like Invincible. Like, that is an old comic, but like it's now just getting its own like show. And because it's getting its own show, that's pretty fucking great. Right. And The Boys, even though The Boys isn't technically like a cartoon or whatever, it's like based off a comic. It's like we've waited like over a few years after they've finished before even tackling them, like way after they're finished.
But I also feel like low key with the because like when The Boys was originally coming out or whatever, it may not have been like feasible to do a large scale budget show about The Boys or like with Invincible. So now I kind of feel like if there were a new comic that came out, like let's say this guy just started writing The Boys and it started releasing yesterday. I feel like with how the industry is and how like, you know, Hollywood is as it stands now, I feel like that shit would get picked up and become a show like almost immediately. Because I think that
The Walking well, actually no, The Walking Dead actually came out like a few years after. But
like, the Walking Dead comic was like,
but it wasn't over. Like, it wasn't
No,
finished
it was nowhere near finished. So that's why they
I happen more with live action though than I do with cartoons. With cartoons, it seems like they take their time a little bit more.
Okay, so what do you think, like, what are like some of the major, because I know you talked about like the pacing and all that other bullshit. What other sort of differences can you like bring between like cartoons and anime? And which one do you think, like, if you were to invest your time into, right? Like, which one would that be? Because again, for me, like, I think I'm on team anime side just because I think a lot of the subject matter they're tackling like just hits a lot more to me. I struggle to find cartoons. I'm not saying that there aren't any. I struggle to find the ones that do seem to be a little bit more I guess like not necessarily serious, but like, you know what I mean? Like something that has a little bit more oomph for me.
Yeah. It is hard to find. It's honestly just because adult cartoons either stick with the specific art style that like that, like
yikes.
like Brickleberry or whatever, and it's just horrible.
Yeah. Right.
So that's also an issue. There are some, like for instance, I just watched a show. I didn't finish it yet. I'm still in the middle of it, but it's called Pantheon. It's an adult cartoon that came out this year, and it's actually really good, and it's like really mature and everything. But like besides that, there's not many adult cartoons, and that's like also an issue. So like that's probably why I would choose anime at the end of the day, because like there's a bigger I guess spectrum of how you can actually get something that you want. Like if you want something mature, like you always will find an anime that you can watch that's like long or short and mature. But it's hard to find, especially now, cartoons that are like adult and don't look like ugly as hell and actually are good. Like,
so are you kind of saying like recent cartoons are low key in the mud?
Not even necessarily that, but it's just that like it's hard to find them. Like they don't get popular. Like people don't watch them. So I mean, I'm not saying they don't exist, but they are not very popular, unfortunately.
Okay,
like you don't
I see.
Like since Invincible, like we haven't seen a adult.
Where the fuck is Invincible animated season 2? By the way,
I think they're working on like multiple seasons at once right now.
Oh shit!
Because I think they confirmed like 3 seasons at once or 2 seasons at once when they announced it. So yeah. Oh, never mind. Arcane. I forgot about that. Arcane was also fire. But I had forgotten about that as well. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I feel like they don't like happen too often.
Yeah.
Because that's like what, like 2 in the last 2 years that like really like broke the internet in any way. Because Arcane only did because it was League of Legends. Like if Arcane wasn't League of Legends,
nobody would have watched that shit.
It wouldn't have been. But it's like it's amazing though, still. But like it just wouldn't have been as big.
That's real shit. That's real shit.
So yeah, I think that's the issue. Like everything either tries to look like Rick and Morty, or it just fucking it's like more of an episodic like thing like Futurama or Bob's Burgers or one of those kinds of shows.
Yeah.
It's like comedy or whatever. It's not like there's not a lot of serious adult cartoons
like with actual like storylines and plot lines and stuff. I think that's another thing too, is like it feels like cartoons like versus anime are more meant to be like
episodic.
Episodic, exactly. So like you'll have bullshit that happens in an episode and then it just kind of goes through because that just fits into like the American like television schedule more when you have like a bunch of reruns of shit happening or whatever. If somebody turns on the TV, they don't want to feel lost. You know what I mean? They want to just be able to watch some bullshit on TV. So I mean, I think that is kind of holding back cartoons. But what I wanted to talk about real quick is like a couple years ago, when you were like heavy into like animation and like just appreciating the art of animation, you would post a lot of like GIFs or whatever of like the animation quality of cartoons. And low key, especially at that time, I feel like now like the animation in anime is getting a lot more better and a lot more consistent. But you were showing like some shit that was like, damn, like these cartoon niggas, they kind of in their bag low key.
Yeah, no, they be going crazy sometimes. Like you wouldn't expect it. That's like the coolest shit though. Like if you're watching a cartoon, you don't expect it to go crazy.
Yeah.
But then you see some wild animation, you're like, what in the hell happened? I feel like that's everybody that was watching that new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show. Like they just watch and see these kind of goofy designs, but then the animation goes crazy and they're like, what happened?
So which cartoons off the top of your head do you remember having like really good animation?
Well, obviously besides I know that Primal, that's the guy that made Gendy Tartakovsky, he's got a long ass name. He made like Dexter's Lab and a few other shows from our childhood, but he also made a show called Primal, and that shit looks amazing. Like that's a great looking show. That's one of them. That's one from the last few years. It didn't get like super popular, but like it was really good. That's also like obviously Arcane, but like that's also the issue. Like sometimes you have to either choose. Like for instance, Invincible is not a great looking show. Like it doesn't look great, but like it's a good show, right? But you kind of had to choose, Like you didn't really get a show that looks amazing. Like there's not really great animation in Invincible, but
that's real.
The show is good enough to where people like still are enjoying it. And after that, I mean, it's hard to actually think off the top of my head. I was about to say, Motor City, I think is the name of it. That's another great one.
Motor City.
Yeah, Motor City. It was like a canceled show from like, I think like the early 2010s. But yeah, that was also a great looking show. Like there's a few amazing looking cartoons out there.
This low-key looked like Drama Island type shit.
Kind of. It reminds me of like if Drama Island mixed with like the Gorillaz style.
Yeah, real. Yeah, that's real.
So yeah, but that is a good looking show.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the times, a lot of the best looking shows kind of get canceled. It's kind of weird.
Yo, so what is up with that, bro? Like,
I don't know, man.
I don't know if you had some insider scoop or whatever, like on to why shit be getting canceled. Like, that's just whack.
Yeah, that shit is whack.
Because there be bangers, like, and I feel like there be bangers that be getting canceled, and it's not like they have bad numbers. Like, shit, I'm gonna bring up a random ass example, bro. Family Guy has been canceled like 3 times. Like, how the fuck do you cancel Family Guy? That's like one of the.
That's wild.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, what goes into these fucking decisions?
I don't know. Niggas. I think that they kind of get like pressure. I feel like Family Guy, because they used to push the envelope, so I think that they just like sometimes pushed it a little too hard to where it's like Fox got the foot on their neck.
They got scaled. That shit.
Yeah, but I also think it's just like I think Fox in general is kind of just like a pussy network, allegedly. Just because like certain things that they've done in the last like few years, like they'll cancel shit that like people actually like Lucifer, like that's a show that I like, and they cancel that shit, and then they Netflix grabbed it up and literally immediately did it better. So I'm just like, damn, y'all suck. Y'all just can't do it. Like I don't know,
damn.
Like Fox just in the mud for real. Which who's surprised, but
I feel like the only show that like never got fumbled was Breaking Bad. Like,
true.
Like they
Better Call Saul too.
Better Call Saul. Like I feel like I don't know. Like I kind of don't understand how that was possible though, because like with Breaking Bad, like I feel like, you know, with how AMC's treated The Walking Dead, they're milking the fuck out of it. I'm shocked that they didn't like force Vince Gilligan to milk Breaking Bad. Like I wonder how he put his dick on the table and was like, no, I'm just making 5 seasons and y'all can suck my dick.
Yeah, no idea.
All right, well, we got some. Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say also that Pantheon show is an AMC show, so that's why you haven't heard of it.
Oh, well, there it is. Fuck AMC.
So
Allegedly. We got some questions here from the chat about some cartoon stuff. Do you prefer episodic cartoons or cartoons with one storyline?
Well, I guess it means in general, but if I'm watching it, like if I'm binging it, storyline, obviously. Like,
right.
But if I'm like going to bed, bro, like, or it's like I'm chilling, like
the episodic, yo, that should
hits.
be hitting.
It hits.
I be putting on episodic cartoons like when I'm about to go to bed sometimes. Like,
yeah, this shit is hard.
Yeah, some shit like, and I'm not gonna lie, like I hate it when an episodic. I'm a hater. I hate it when an episodic cartoon tries to be like have a storyline cartoon. Like for example, like South Park will do this thing where it'll like have like an episode, but then that episode is like 3 to 4 episodes long. You know what I mean? Like that arc. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, I'm throwing this on before I go to bed. I'm not locked in for a 4 episode bullshit. Just give me some good background noise. One little episode. That's all I want.
Yeah. Now I have because of my girl, because it's her favorite show. I've been watching like Bob's Burgers, but they did the right thing where they made a movie when they wanted to do a serious plot line.
I actually hear that Bob's Burgers is good, but I've never watched
Bob's Burgers is a very good, like, different take. Like if you really want to like see something different, like put on one of the new seasons, because it's obviously episodic, so you don't have to like watch it in like order or whatever. But like it's actually a really good show, and it doesn't have like a family that hates each other, which is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it's rare as fuck.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that is if when you have those family cartoon sitcoms, it seems like the gag is like, oh, we all hate each other, we're always beefing, all that bullshit.
But yeah, no, it's actually a pretty good functional family. It's really different from everything else. But like that's what I'm saying. Like they had a movie, and the movie did change things after the movie, but it's not like you have to fucking watch it like or whatever. And like it's a movie, so you're gonna be like tuning in whenever you watch it, you know? So I think that was a smart decision, which I mean South Park did that back then, but now they just decided to do it for their show too. Like
yeah, I feel like the recent seasons, like I'm pretty sure the recent seasons have been like all low key, like one storyline. Yeah. Like I don't know if I like that. Like I liked it at first because like, oh, this is like unique and new. Yeah. But then like when it was like every time I was like I appreciate that because I think their writing was able to like show. And I think they had like good callbacks and all that other good like storyline bullshit. And I was like, okay, like that's cool, but like I kind of missed the old South Park. But you know, I guess shit has to evolve at some point. For me, if I'm talking about cartoons in specific, I think I would definitely prefer like episodic, just because like that's the way I consume cartoons. If we had more cartoons like Invincible or like Avatar or something, then I would change my answer there. But because those are so rare, I think I prefer episodic.
Yeah, and the Boondocks is episodic too. Like it doesn't really have to be watched in order. Like you can just kind of watch.
The Boondocks is the best cartoon ever made. Thoughts?
It's very, 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 very not hot take at all. It's a very good take.
Yeah, actually. Like just in terms of like not only like comedy, but like, you know, in terms of like, you know, animation, subject matter, and even like the storylines in the episodes are really good. Like that show is fire.
Yeah. And obviously we got things like Castlevania, which, you know, we forgot, but you know, it'd be like that. There was another thing called Blood of Zeus or something that I think came out in the last like year or something. But it was like 2 years ago. But
how do you feel about like cartoons that like that like they pretty much are anime, but they're not anime because they're not made in Japan? Like how do you feel about?
I fucks with it because then I can watch it in English and be
That's so real. That's like, so real.
I can watch Castlevania in English and not wince. So I'm just like, let's go.
That's real shit. Yeah, because like there's always that thing of, oh, Avatar's not an anime type or whatever the fuck. But it's like, I'm glad it's not, because if that shit was an anime, first of all, fucking Katara would have had her titties out episode 2, and I'd have been like, that's weird, champ. She would have definitely fucked Ong or some bullshit. Wait, we would have seen Azula's cheeks though. Hold on.
You're like, damn.
Hold on. Yo, can they make a Japanese Avatar The Last Airbender one time? We need that. And you know Iroh would have been a pervert if that shit was an anime.
Oh yeah, no, it wouldn't even like been a question.
That nigga would have been an actual rapist.
The pros and cons, like, damn. I know what I must do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
That's real. But yeah, man, yo, like low key, I'm gonna keep it a beam.
We are getting those Avatar movies. You know about that, right?
What Avatar movies?
Avatar: The Last Airbender is getting like 3 movies.
Wait,
like,
for real?
Anime movie, yes.
Like dead ass.
Yeah, dead ass.
Like dead ass.
Dead ass. But I think it's coming in like 2025. So
what are the movies like about? Like, what is it?
I don't know. I think they're about to be other like avatars or something like that. I actually don't know. I just know that there will be like actual other Avatar movies. They're just coming out like way later.
Hey, we tapped in. That's fire.
So it's gonna be in theaters, so I'll see that.
I don't know if this is a hot take, but I do think anime, like I prefer anime to cartoons for sure. But if I could, I think for most anime, like if that shit was a cartoon, because of all the reasons that you said earlier about like, you know, the not having to do that dumbass, like, you know, that seasonal bullshit, never knowing if season 2's coming out or like all that, whatever, and like having it be like consistent, that shit would be kind of fire, low key.
I mean, like, frankly, just give me more of those hybrids. Give me more of those Castlevanias and shit, and I'll be happy, bro. Because then that means we're getting high quality. Because like Castlevania is so high quality, right? And it's a good story. Now it is Netflix, so they might cancel it before it needs to be canceled.
Netflix is the new Fox, bro. They cancel shit for no reason, and then continue the weirdest series ever that no one asked for.
Yeah, that's a red flag from Netflix. But besides that, pretty fire. I can't be mad at them after, because like I just watched like more Lucifer last night, and frankly, I can't be mad at them right now because they did make the show better. But yeah, I will say they cancel shit for no reason.
We're gonna come back to Netflix because they do have like a lot of like K dramas and J dramas that I'd be really loving. So I want to talk about those later, but let's continue on the cartoon wave here.
Yeah.
Strap the Hollow, aka the biggest virgin ever, asked a few questions about cartoons. I have to ask this one first because like, why the fuck would he think we would have an answer for this? But he says, who do you think fumbled the bag when it came to relationships, Mordecai, Finn, or Steven? What?
Bro, what?
Who cares, nigga? Niggas tapped into cartoon characters' relationships.
I haven't watched any of those shows, so I ain't got no answer, bro.
Mordecai is
Adventure Time.
Okay. Finn is also Adventure Time, right?
Oh, no. Sorry. Regular show is Mordecai.
Oh, okay.
Spaced.
There you go. And then Finn is Adventure Time and Steven is Steven Universe. Yeah. I'm assuming. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sucking dick before I watch an episode of Steven Universe. I'm keeping it a bean.
I don't know why y'all are dying me, bro, but like, okay, no, I didn't realize it. You guys were literally 6 when that shit came out, so that's why you guys are fucking mad.
Get bodied, idiots.
By the point that shit came out, I was like, yeah, I'm all right. I just wasn't down for it, bro. I'm not saying that you have to be a certain age to watch certain things animated. You just have to be a certain age to watch some things animated, you know?
Like here's my beef with Steven Universe. I'm sure Steven Universe is a great show, but everybody that I've ever met that's been a Steven Universe fan has been the most repulsive person I've ever interacted with. Paper Note, for example, is a big fan of Steven Universe, and this is the most annoying bitch in my chat. So I will never watch that show because of her and people like her. So fuck Paper Note, roll that bitch up in a pack.
It's a red flag when the people who do like it, whatever, have to keep it a secret. Like for instance, right? Fucking when Kaggy's ever fucking talking about like One Piece, he's like, I don't like talking about how I'm a One Piece fan. Like you have to hide it away because he's
a One Piece fan.
Yeah, he does low key like One Piece.
Interesting.
It's like you have to hide it from everybody that you like One Piece, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Frankly, that's an L.
That's tough.
Okay, but he has another question that I think is actually going to be a little interesting. Do you believe that Cal Arts, which I don't even know what that is, actually ruin how cartoons are drawn? Recent examples like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Gumball. And if not, then why do you think people hate that art style so much? See, I think I can talk about it because I do hate that art style, but I want you to answer first.
Yeah. So the Cal Arts thing, first of all, that in general is bullshit. It's just like similar design philosophies. It didn't come from Cal Arts. It just came in general to the animation industry because
Right.
it's more consistent. Like you can consistently make something like better when it comes to something like a simple design like those, right? But people only shit on the like a few of them, right? Like they shit on the ones that are like Steven Universe or whatever, or maybe Gumball, but like nobody shits on Gravity Falls, but it looks the exact same. Like or Craig
Actually,
of the Creek.
you're kind of because I think Gravity Falls, for some reason, like there's something about the aesthetic of like Steven Universe or Gumball that like never sat right with me. But I kind of don't really feel that way about Gravity. I think Gravity Falls looks fine. Why is that? Let me look this shit up.
For me, I like Gumball's aesthetic a lot because like I love how much 3D is incorporated in that show. But like I feel like people just only like talking about it when it shows that they already have a predeposition to not like. So shows like Steven Universe or whatever, or Gumball or Star vs. the Force of Evil, where the fuck that shit's called. Like people like don't like them. They're like, oh my god, this isn't like the cartoons when I was young.
I think the thing is with Gravity Falls is that the environments are like absolutely gorgeous in this show. Like holy shit, this shit looks fire.
Yeah,
but I hate the way these characters look. I hate this shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that like it's obviously the best way or whatever for cartoons to look. It's just that like I feel like everybody like overextends this Cal Arts complaining when they also just don't know what the fuck.
Okay, I thought Gumball was. I was thinking of Chowder for some fucking reason. I actually think Gumball looks good. I don't hate Gumball,
Yeah.
but like I'm not a big fan of like the Steven Universe aesthetic. I'm gonna keep it a bean.
Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, everything in Steven Universe, to be honest, looks like pretty flat. Like when like I look at Steven Universe like shots and shit, like they kind of look flat sometimes. Like,
I think the aesthetic of Steven Universe is good. Like I kind of like the like this right here. Like I like the characters' aesthetics here. Mainly I forgot her name, girl in the back with the gold glasses, and like I think she looks mad cool. But other than her, I think all the characters look kind of whack. So yeah, it'd be like that.
I just don't like when people complain about this shit. It's like it's weird. It's kind of similar to when people complain about like Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, and they're like, oh my god, just animation was just better in the 90s. But like, come on, bro. Like they're saying like animators were better in the 90s and shit. Meanwhile, it's the same fucking guy. It's the same dude, and they're just like
this guy's like, why he said fuck me for?
Like, it's the same guy, like, damn, bro.
Nah, I think the thing is like the 90s anime aesthetic is really nice. I do really like that aesthetic a lot. But
yeah,
to say
sorry, good.
To say the animation was better is kind of because I feel like okay, I do not really think Dragon Ball Super is that good for sure. But there were some beautifully animated moments in that series. Like we don't have to cap here.
Yeah, frankly, all right, I get what people mean when they try and say this. It's just that they say it in a stupid way.
Nah, I agree.
So it pisses me off, right? Like they'll say, "Oh man, animation was just better in the '90s," but they're not saying that they like the film grain or the kind of like grunge aesthetic that '90s anime have that make them look so cool. They're like, "Oh, it's just way better animated," but like that's not what you mean, you idiot.
Yeah,
that's not what you mean.
I think there's low key something about like an anime or an animation rather looking. This might be another reason why I think some of the cartoons look weird. Like there's something about something looking pristine that clean, I don't like, you know, like when I think of like one of my favorite looking shows in the past like 10 years is Mob, and Mob is like the absolute opposite of like a clean looking show. Like I like that like how you said that grunge, that like that imperfection. It adds so much personality and character and shit. Like I hate how like clean some recent anime can look. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's especially like the overly shiny shit too.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
That's why I really hated how Dragon Ball looks. Like everybody looked like they're oiled up and shit. And I'm like, bro, like this looks.
That's
ugly.
also why I think Cyberpunk looks awesome, because Cyberpunk is like it's kind of like in the middle. Like it looks really like sharp and clean, but also at the same time, it's just like oozes so much style. And I think Cyberpunk is one of the best looking anime I've ever seen. Low key, that shit is. Have you watched that yet?
I've not seen Cyberpunk. No.
I've only watched the first episode, and I was like, I need to finish watching this.
I heard that watching that show makes you really want to play the game, and I really don't want to play the game. But I mean,
I watched episode 1 and I installed it on my Steam Deck, and it just ran like shit on my Steam Deck. So I was like, all right, I'm off that. I might play it on my PC or something, but yeah, that is not a Steam Deck game.
Releasing that though was the smartest thing that these motherfuckers could have
was.
Done. They are very smart for that. They won't make me play it though. Mm-mm.
Okay, so Strap asked another question, which is, again, might be the stupidest question I've ever heard, but I want to get your reaction to it.
All right.
Do you believe that a cartoon made in America or in another country can be considered an anime?
Yeah. Anime just means animation, really. Like people talk about it like it's whatever, like it's only Japanese or whatever, but it just means anime. So yeah, they're anime.
So,
and frankly, you shouldn't care. You know, you shouldn't care. If people
I feel like
an anime.
I feel like to me, like, so you're right in that anime just means animation. So like technically, any cartoon is also an anime, just like any anime is also a cartoon. But at the same time, like when you think of anime, you think of something that came from Japan. Like,
yeah,
like I don't know, that's just what I think of. But at the end of the day, who really gives a shit? They're all moving PNGs. Like, who cares?
Nah, but the crazy thing is, right? Okay, so like if we're being honest about that, okay, but when I ask somebody if Avatar is an anime, right? What are they gonna tell me?
Okay, so you know what's funny? Like I remember like being younger on the internet, and like I didn't really think about whether or not Avatar was an anime, but I was like, you know what, it kind of makes sense, you know? But then like now in my old age, I look at it and it kind of doesn't look anything like an anime. Like,
yeah.
Am I high?
I mean, you're right.
Like, so, I can see where some of the influences from anime like are, but if you look at like Avatar, like I don't think it does not look very anime like at all. It has influences for sure, but I wouldn't classify it as like looking like an anime.
Yeah. So the studio that did Avatar partially was Studio Mir, which is a Korean company, right? But we wouldn't call like a Korean anime. Like we wouldn't call Avatar. Nobody was. First of all, people will probably call it anime. They'll probably call it American animation, but nobody was calling it Korean anime. But it is produced in Korea. So like that's what I'm saying. Like nobody really gives a fuck about where it's actually made. They just want to be like weird about what they care to call themselves. Like they're like, oh man, like, no, this isn't anime. This is American cartoon. Like. It's mad annoying because some of you care way too much about what people call something. It's just if it's an anime, it's an anime. Who cares? I don't care. I'm way too old to care, to be honest. Like if you call Castlevania anime, cool. I don't care.
Base take from ZZ Toastie. We have a question coming in from the chat from Big Facts TV saying, do you think cartoons should censor their shows? And by censor, I mean the use of weapons and maybe even a little bit of blood, like how regular show does not censor the use of guns and shit like that.
They don't censor guns on regular show.
I didn't know there was guns in regular show. Maybe I gotta watch that show. Them niggas is thugging out there.
Are they better hit you with the blick? Like what the
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know they had fucking guns though. I think that it's just weird. Like it depends on obviously the program that they're on. Like if it's on it's on Cartoon Network. Why the fuck would they have guns? Anyways, I mean I don't really care though. Like personally, like Motor City, I think like had a pretty good way of getting around it because they use like you can always use fictional weapons, right?
That's
they
true.
Don't count as actual guns. You don't have to have a fucking M4 for it to be a gun. Like you could get like a laser and it would still be fine on like television, you know? So I don't think that there's a real big issue about it. Like calling it censoring even then is a little bit of a stretch. Because like if you like in anime, right? We hate when we see like something blurred. Like in JoJo's, when Jotaro smokes a cigarette and they try to blur it out and like put a big black spot over the screen, that's just the most corny shit ever.
The most corny shit ever, I'm gonna say it, was in the recent episode of Chainsaw Man. This girl was making out with Denji and she puked in his mouth and they censored the puke. Like, come on, where's my fetish at?
That is.
I mean, I just feel like just let the artist like artistic integrity shine through the anime. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
I agree, man. You know, like let there be throw up. You get me? Like, what the fuck?
No, but it's crazy because that show was like so very uncensored, and then they censored that. I'm like, you show niggas getting split in half, bro. Like, what the fuck?
You be showing me blood and guts and gore and shit, but throw up is crazy. Like, I don't know. Who knows?
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
This nigga crying about spoilers in my chat. A bitch puked in another guy's mouth. How's that a spoiler?
That was frankly that was like one of the most known things about Chainsaw Man before the anime came out. Like, is that like, yeah, there's a person getting thrown up in the mouth. That's not a spoiler. That's not in any way plot important, and you will forget about it by the time you watch.
I could spoil Chainsaw Man for all you anime onlys right now if you really want to test me. Go ahead, keep crying.
How are you enjoying it, by the way?
Oh, Chainsaw Man is fire. I think it's kind of like JJK. I think the anime adds a lot for me personally. Because I did like the manga, but I was like, I think you niggas kind of gassing. I still don't like it as much as JJK. I'm a JJK certified meat rider. But you know, I think this show has really been very fun.
But you haven't seen episode 8 that came out 2 days ago though, or 3 days ago.
Of what?
Chainsaw Man.
No, I did. I re-caught up last night. Yeah.
That show was hard.
Yeah, very, very Giga Chad.
But yeah. By the way, guess what, guys? When's JJK season 2 coming out?
We don't know.
Like we heard 2023, but that could just easily not happen. So who knows?
Nah, it's definitely gonna come out soon because like JJK is a cash cow. Like there's no way they don't drop that shit soon. But JJK is fucking amazing. We have a great question here from Scoobs. He says, with adult cartoons like BoJack, goated show, by the way, if you have not watched it, change your life. With adult cartoons like BoJack slowly falling out of grace with publishing companies, what do you think that means for the ability of the writers and showrunners to create successful stories with that kind of a narrative in the future? So pretty much those writers, like, what do you think, like how do you think this impacts them? Like what happens to these talent? Because these are very talented writers. So
yeah, frankly, I would say that it falls out of grace, but then it just takes one show. It takes one show. Like, we just need another show that's even like as good as BoJack, or even not even as good as BoJack, but like even close
on that level of BoJack.
And
yeah,
it will literally fall back into favor. That's the thing about like trends. Like, shit will change on a dime. Like So as soon as we get another, which we will, like, there's gonna be an adult cartoon that's like super like psychological and shit that like really makes you think and everything. Like, it's gonna happen, right? Also, you know, Aaron Paul is Todd in that show.
Wait, for real?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
He voices Todd, and I'm like, that's crazy. I did not even notice the entire time I watched it. But yeah, like, all it takes is for some of that, and it will immediately fall back into favor. So I don't really worry about there not having any of that. And if that like does happen, and we don't really get as many, there are going to be companies that will just give like somebody who's like a writer that they trust a chance, right? And if it just doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But it'll always come through.
How did shows like BoJack even fall out of favor? Because I thought they were really popular. Did they not get the viewership, or like what happened there?
I'm not sure. It could be because of Netflix's release schedule. I have no idea how often they were putting out episodes or something. I don't know, but maybe because they were putting out like only like 8 episodes at a time instead of 12 at some point. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know why they fell out of favor. Because frankly, I feel like nobody ever disliked BoJack. I feel like everybody liked BoJack all the way to the end.
Yeah, BoJack is an amazing show. I would hope that, you know, the future for those writers is still bright, because they're still very talented writers, even if they're not working on like cartoons. Like, there's a ton of, you know, stories in the industry that they can write, whether it's movies, you know, video games, you know, other sorts of TV shows. I would hate for them to not like be able to express their creative free will, because again, BoJack is like one of those shows that I feel like I can't even think of another show like BoJack, but like that show is just like, I'm telling you, bro, if you're going through some existential shit, you're going through some depression, well, maybe don't watch BoJack, but look, that show will make you think. Okay, it's a very deep show. I think everybody should watch that shit.
It's crazy though, because you remember how we talked about Netflix? So the person that created BoJack, he had another series. He didn't create it, but he wrote for it. That's pretty similar to BoJack. It's called Tuca and Birdie. It was on Netflix for 1 season, and then Netflix canceled it, and then Adult Swim picked it up for a 2nd season. It's the same shit. Yeah, like now you gotta watch on 2 different streaming services though, so that's annoying. Fuck streaming services on God.
Bro. Streaming services were so fire when there was like 2, but now like every studio was like, we have absolutely 0 content to offer except this one show that everyone really likes. So I'm going to make it exclusive to my dumbass streaming service. Like, bro, I don't care what anybody says. I know the show's a fucking meme, but The Office was one of my comfort shows. I loved watching The Office at night when I was about to go to sleep. I just liked watching The Office. It was something I could always return to. And now I can't fucking watch it because it's on Peacock. I'm not fucking getting Peacock. It's not going to happen.
I did get Peacock for a year for like $20. So, but like, yeah, I understand. Like it's annoying as fuck. Like for instance, Stars, right? Stars, the only things that these niggas got, right? It's the new Spider-Man movie. For some reason, these niggas got No Way Home. Don't know why, but they do, right? And if you like it a lot, which you have to, Power. There you go. That's a show.
I want to watch Power, but like, I'm not cocking Stars for Power.
Yeah.
I would sooner. I should not admit to that. I would just rather not.
Allegedly.
I would really appreciate it if Power could come to a streaming service that I actually use. I think I can say
it's
that.
Like Power and P-Valley are the only reasons people watch that damn shit. And like, that's the only.
P-Valley sounds fire. I need to watch P-Valley.
It's on fucking Stars.
Never mind. I don't need to watch P-Valley. I just feel like I've always loved One Piece.
Nah, because like, why did AMC make a streaming service though? Like, it just throw up, man.
I feel like I really relate to One Piece. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Y'all feel what I'm saying?
Because you never finish.
I'm sailing the 7 seas, my boy. You understand? I'm on a little adventure to find the One Piece myself, if you will. You know what I mean?
So true.
But okay, so Strap has another this nigga, bro. Google. Fuck. Okay, anyways. He says, with the recent wave of anime. Wait, what the hell? With the recent wave of anime and suck, is what he says. I think he meant to type that in a Pornhub. Do you truly believe there was another big 3? And which one of the big 3 do you think deserves their flowers more? Okay, we talk about this shit all the time on the stream. There can never be another big 3. I don't know how many times I gotta say this shit. The big 3 were the big 3 because anime was not popping in the West, and these 3 anime like sort of and like brought anime into the pop culture mainstream in the West. That's why they're the big 3. There can never be another big 3. Anime is now normie. There can literally never, ever, 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 ever be another big 3. Because back in that time, when you thought of anime, you were either thinking of like either Dragon Ball Z, which had the legacy, or you were thinking of one of the big 3. That's literally it. Nobody was like thinking about any other type of fucking anime until these anime came into the fray. Okay. That can never happen again. It will never happen again. Even if you take the top 3 anime and say, oh, these are the new big 3, the top 3 is fluctuating week to week at this fucking point. So it can't happen. No anime will ever hit that level of ubiquity again. Like, because if you were to give that, like, let's say, like a year or two ago when Demon Slayer was popping, you wanted to say, oh, Demon Slayer is part of the new big 3. Where's Demon Slayer now? Okay, bet.
Yes.
You wanted to say, oh, My Hero is part of the big 3, because there was a time where, like, if there were a big 3, you'd have to throw My Hero in there. What are you saying about My Hero now? There is no big 3. Those big 3 have legacy. Those big 3 changed the world on some real shit when it came to anime. There can never be another big 3. Period.
It's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's just people really wanting to always prop up their own favorite thing and be like, it's part of the new big 3. It's like, bro, no, like, just like, it's a good anime. You can say that. It's cool, bro. It doesn't have to be one of the big 3, bro. It's cool.
that's so real.
Like, sorry, you really want whatever the fuck to be. I just fucked my sister, whatever the fuck that anime is called, to be number 1 or whatever the fuck, but it's not. Calm down.
And then he says, which one of the big 3 do you think deserves their flowers more? Okay, it's kind of hard to, because they get their flowers. That's why they're the big 3.
They are sucked off.
Like,
I guess Bleach, because it gets the most like shit out of all of them. So I guess Bleach, but like
Bleach is definitely
get sucked off.
Bleach is the most shit on. I think that's been changing because Thousand Year Blood War arc has just been the best anime of all time.
Niggas switched up hard.
They switched up hard.
No, I've seen niggas that I see that every day would be preying on the downfall. And now we're like, oh my God, it was so good. I'm like, bro.
I've been a meat rider, so y'all can't come at me with that shit.
You have meat road since 2020.
I feel like if we're talking about in the West, like you could say One Piece deserves its flowers more because in the West, One Piece is not really that popping. But I mean, it's also the number one manga like every fucking day or whatever the fuck in Japan. So they all get their flowers. It doesn't really matter.
Frankly.
But speaking of anime, how do you feel about CGI in anime? I feel like this is always a hot button topic. So I kind of wanted to know what you thought about this.
So niggas be crybabies. And I will say, in the 2010s, it was looking rough. I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes the CG was really took you out of the experience, right? Hell, it ruined like one of the whole Berserk movies. Like has like pretty horrid CGI, and that's like probably the biggest complaint people have about that shit. So I will say it before it was a issue because it was just not keeping up with the times, right? And it wasn't keeping up with expectations. But now it is different. We are in a different time now. Like for instance, Chainsaw Man, niggas was out here crying saying it was CG. It wasn't even CG. It was hand drawn. So like that's what I'm saying, bro.
Get fucking bodied.
Like people really just will assume shit is CG when it ain't even CG. People just want to bitch though, for real. I'm telling you, we are in a different time, and most times now, 3D in anime, like Demon Slayer and like Chainsaw Man, it is different. Like now it looks fucking good, bro. Especially all it takes is like really good planning too, because like we can have an entire like now the World Ends With You had an anime, and frankly, like I mean nobody talked about it because that shit was apparently ass, but it was 3D, but that shit looked like it was 2D, and that shit was fire. So I'm just saying, like, stop complaining about it like we're in the early 2010s, bro. CG in anime is just common now because it's like, it's just better for the industry pipeline or whatever. So
yeah,
like,
honestly, if it makes the workload and shit easier, then I'm all for it. And like can CG look bad? Yeah, obviously, but so can 2D animation. So like who really gives a shit? But yeah, I think they've really come into their bag when it comes to CG. And you know, you bring up Chainsaw Man, that's probably like the number one example of like CG like actually being able to look good because Chainsaw Man looks great. So yeah, I mean CG in anime, I think it's like a necessary type of thing because there's some things that like, especially when you get to like 3D movement and stuff like that, it's very hard to like hand animate and hand draw. There are times where CG in anime has looked bad. Like the number one example I'm thinking of is Attack on Titan. Like when Attack on Titan season 4 started, that shit looked rough. It ended up evening out towards the end, but in the beginning it was a little rough. But overall, like, you know, it didn't take away from the show. I still thought season 4 was absolutely amazing. No, I just thought it, you know, looked a little bit better. That's all.
I mean, the fact that we even have fucking Studio Orange, which they did Beastars and Land of the Lustrous and all those like completely 3D shows that are so good looking. Like, how can we really be out here complaining? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, some of y'all just like to complain. Like, anime fans just like to complain sometimes. It's whatever.
Anime fans are the biggest back bitches of all time. I'm not gonna lie. And then the one thing that so anime fans are bitches. They complain about everything. And then a cartoon fan will call you homophobic if you don't like their favorite cartoon. So I don't know, like
extra.
like bro, can I just not like Steven Universe?
Nah, for
like,
real.
I'm not homophobic. I just don't like the damn show, bro. Get off my dick.
It is. Nah, because telling people that you don't like the thing they like is the biggest hit to their ego. They're like, wait, is it good? It's like someone can't accept that you don't like the thing they like. It's really tragic.
I also have to say this, okay? So, you know, I've got a friend. Her name is Kiera, please. If you guys are familiar with her, you know, she's, she cosplays. She does a lot of, she streams on Twitch. She does a lot of like cool shit, right? And she did a Chainsaw Man cosplay, and she had her thing staying, and it is what it is. She just had her thing staying, and Chainsaw Man fans and anime fans are like, I can't believe you sexualized Chainsaw Man, bro.
Chainsaw Man is Chainsaw Man, bro. Like,
bro, have you watched Chainsaw Man? Have you read a second of Chainsaw Man, bro?
That's what I'm saying, bro. They just like to complain.
The show starts off and the guy's like, I really want to grab a titty one day. Gang? What are we talking about?
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like, everybody just likes to complain. They also just don't like women. That's also part of it.
That's very real. That's
like,
very
anime
real.
fans just in general seem to not like women. I don't get what it is. But hey.
Fucking incels. Okay.
I just wish we could really just chill. Everybody could watch what they fuck with and be like, damn, I don't like this thing. And then be like, you know what? Cool, bro.
See, it's only cool when I hate on people for what they watch. But when they hate on me for what I watch, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, it's different, bro. It's just different, you know?
It is.
It's not the same, you know?
We have another topic here. Mortiz wants us to talk about HBO Max's decision to remove shows to save money. And a lot of cartoons got hit in the crossfire with this. And obviously we can just bring that into the whole HBO merger and, HBO was the best streaming service, man. That's just tough. That's just tough.
Frankly. Yeah. So let's be honest. We're being completely honest. There were like 3 shows that people actually liked on that list. Besides that, nobody liked those shows.
I don't even know what shows they're talking about.
So like the biggest shows that people were mad that they removed are Infinity Train, which is an animated show, pretty serious animated show actually, as far as I remember. I haven't seen a lot of it, but pretty serious. Close Enough, which is the regular show follow-up from the same people.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little bit more adult. But now that I know they have guns in regular show, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was the same. OKKO, and that's about it. Okay. Which was like a kind of like episodic, but also not animated show from like Cartoon Network. But those are the only shows that people actually cared about. Everything else, like, it's just the number, you know? Like the 30 shows that were removed from HBO Max. I think that shit is cringe for the reason that, like, you cannot watch those shows now without stealing, right? Like, I don't think they even sell them, like, as DVDs or whatever. So you can't, like, watch Close Enough.
Piracy wins.
There's nothing, it's not on Hulu or whatever. You can't watch Infinity Train. You just, like, you can't watch those shows. And I think that sucks.
The real shit here is that, like the best streaming service, the best movie theater, the best video game console has always been piracy.
Really though?
Like these companies fuck us over all the fucking time. These companies like restrict access to their shit. All like look at Nintendo, not fucking like having us being able to play their games legally. Like, bro, like what do you want us to do? Fuck. Just make this shit available and people will watch it. People will consume it. But doing all this dumb bullshit with all these licenses or whatever, you're gatekeeping your own fucking product. You
know that Crunchyroll started as an illegal service?
I do know that. I remember when it was an illegal service.
Yeah, and then the company put like $4 million into them, and then they actually got to start licensing stuff, and I'm just like, that's crazy.
You love that come up.
That's really like a glow up for real. Like,
but speaking of Crunchyroll, have you been watching any anime this year?
No.
My boy, you got to get on that Spy Family, bro. You have to.
I have seen Spy Family, but only the last season. I haven't seen the newer season. So I guess that was this year, huh? Damn, that feels
Spy
like
Spy Family might be anime of the life.
Might be them.
Spy Family is legitimately, to use the weeb terms here, peak fiction. Okay, like that show is so fucking good. Every show is every episode is just a treat. That is a show I can just watch and I'm just enjoying it the whole time.
Now, does it make you want to start a family at all?
No.
Have you not heard about that?
Nah.
All right, so people are thinking that Spy Family is pretty much just being a good show and being obviously about a fake family, and to encourage people to make more families in Japan, because their population is going down so heavily.
Conspiracy theories are fucking hilarious, bro.
Conspiracy theories are hilarious, but like people are like, yeah, man, it's just they're trying to make people have families, and I'm like, bro, like that is just that's such a weird thing to try and assume. That's like, oh yeah, they just want people to start having families because of this anime that they watched.
I really love Spy Family. Let's make one of those, bro. Niggas can't afford to live. Nobody's thinking about making an anime. Maybe if quality of, I'm talking about, quality of life
in Japan
over here
is pretty low compared to us, but I mean, frankly,
yeah, I don't know what it's looking like over in Japan, but I'm talking about for us in particular. Bro, they could never make some propaganda like that, nigga. We don't want kids, nigga. We want food, bro. We want rent.
That show also happens like around World War II or some shit. Like at least then shit was affordable, bro. They live in an apartment. They could have bought a house for $1, bro. Must be nice.
Spy Family is the best show ever made, and I will. Well, okay, Bleach is the best show ever made.
Bleach and then coming out at the same time. So what do you look more forward to every week, though?
I save Bleach for last, like when we binge stuff, because we usually like we'll watch everything like once a week or whatever. We'll just watch an episode of everything we missed or whatever. So usually we start off with like yesterday we started off with Chainsaw Man. We caught up on the 2 episodes we were missing, and then we went to Spy Family and then Bleach, because obviously Bleach is the you gotta save the best for last. You feel what I'm saying?
All right, so I'm just seeing a lot of people like literally like baby raging in the chat about fucking My Hero Academia. Bro, this is also an issue with the seasonal shit, bro. They fuck up once, they fuck the whole vibe up. On God.
That's real.
They fucked one season up. What was it, 4 or 5?
It was 4. It was 4. It was ass.
They fucked the shit up and they fucked the whole vibe up, bro. The openings are normally ass now, and it's just like, who cares at this point? Like,
bro,
I'm just
the first 3 seasons of My Hero I loved. I was like, yo, this show is fire. And I remember season 4 happening, and I thought, oh, this is gonna be serious, because the Overhaul comes in, kills a nigga immediately, and I was like, oh, nah, this season finna be fire. It was ass. It was dog shit.
It's just like L, man. Like, please cry.
L. Man,
blame
downfall of
for fucking it up.
The downfall of My Hero needs to be studied. That needs to be an academic class as to how the fuck you fumble that.
Chad, I want to know, does it infuriate you that My Hero is getting the treatment it gets? Meanwhile, Bones are right there in the same studio creating Mob Psycho 100, literally cooking, and you guys are just sitting here eating scraps. How does it feel? I want to actually know.
Everybody has a favorite child. You know what I'm saying?
Not really though. Like, I feel like Bones just has a favorite child sometimes. They just decide what they actually care about.
Even if the quality,
Hero, but now
even if the quality of the shows was equal, Mob is still infinitely better than My Hero.
It really be like that.
Yeah, have you watched Mob?
I've seen season 1. I haven't seen season 2.
My Ganglanch. Mob Psycho is simply #him.
Hey man, apparently the anime in general, like they doing some things. Like they ain't fumbling.
Yeah.
If Vinland season 2 is bad though, you won't see me.
I'll kill myself. I'm so serious. As Lord is my witness. If that season sucks, I am killing myself.
Because that shit is so good. Like I need it to be not ass. Because if it's ass, I'm going to just not be here.
I heard that like that part in the manga was so fire too. So yeah. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, people just think that people aren't gonna like it because it's not like super actiony, but like it's the character development is insane. Like it should.
But everybody, I feel like everybody loved Vinland for the characters, right? Like
yeah.
Like everybody loved Ocelot because he was actually like a really fucking great character. Everybody loved Thorfinn, you know. Like what are we doing? It's
yeah.
Anyways.
I don't know. People just assume that people who like anime only want to see action. Like they don't really want any like actual like character development. But that's a weird thing to think though, because like some of the arcs that people have in anime like are the most talked about. You know, like
that is true. Like you think about Demon Slayer, like. I mean, niggas ain't hyping up Demon Slayer because it's a great story. I'll tell you that.
I mean, think about like One Piece, bro. Because frankly, like, let's be honest, One Piece fights are dog shit, as well as how it looks. It's just the characters. Like, so people are like holding on to the fact that the characters are developing. They're like, yo, the development is so crazy. So, you know, like they're like, oh man, the world and the development of the characters is so crazy because everything in that show sucks.
One Piece fans about to suck your dick, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
All right, bro, good. I'm about to come.
They're about to break into your house and fucking and tickle your ball sack, bro.
Like, you could suck my dick, bro. Like, I do not care, bro. One Piece, especially when you compare them to, if you're gonna compare them to other anime, think about it, bro. Really, One Piece fights are peak, bro. You cannot sit here and be like, oh yeah, man. Even the best fight in Mob, like you can't. There's no One Piece fight that's better than it. I know because I haven't seen it. Here's
the thing about One Piece, bro. If there is one anime I wish I could be a fan of, it's One Piece. Like I wish, like, because you got to think about it. Like, you're getting so much consistent content as a One Piece fan. That must be nice. You know, that it must be. However, I simply cannot stomach that god awful anime, manga, whatever the fuck. It's got the worst paneling I've ever seen in a manga, and it looks fucking ugly in the anime. I can't do it. Bro in the chat said Luffy versus Doffy was trash. Y'all got a nigga named Doffy in your show, bro. I'm sorry. I can't do it, bro. I can't.
One Piece is goofy.
Goofy, One Piece is a cartoon.
It's
like,
actually,
legit.
It's actually wild. Yeah, One Piece is a cartoon. It's actually wild because he chose the most corny name for that character. Because that's Doflamingo, I think.
I think Doflamingo is like the only character in that show that doesn't look dog shit. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, like he actually looks pretty fucking cool. Man's just like 8 feet tall though.
Okay, yeah. Doflamingo is like literally the only character in that show that looks saucy. This nigga's him.
I feel like
I need that
look a
coat,
little bit like
low-key.
Doflamingo though. I'm not gonna lie.
Word?
Like, you get that coat, I feel like you kind of look like Doflamingo.
Yo, a little song. You feel what I'm saying?
It's hard to see it because you don't got the blonde hair, but I think you kind of look like Doflamingo. Like chat room, you don't think so? Like,
no, you feel what I'm saying. I'll take that. I'll take that. Bro, never seen Law. I'm sorry, this can't be who you hyping.
Nah, because that hat is dumb. Like
this nigga
hat.
looks like every dude that graduated high school 3 years ago and still hangs around there. Like, are you kidding me?
Actually, though.
Like, legit, this cannot be who you hyping.
Nah, he is the senior that dates a freshman, bro. Like,
that's legit. Bro. Like, legit. You spin, bro. You spin.
Can't hype this man up, bro. No.
Why you got such a fat ass? Who drew it? Who drew this? Hold on, maybe you niggas was right.
Even though that ass is fat, that hat is dumb as shit. That's a dumb looking hat.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but you can never get me to like that nigga because his hat sucks.
All right, Zoro and Doflamingo are the only saucy niggas in that show. Everybody else, you can keep that.
Zoro does look cool.
Zoro's him.
Yeah. That man's really do be like putting a sword in his fucking ass though. Like he has a sword in every orifice. Like, I guess.
Yeah, but fuck One Piece. We out here. What's the anime that everyone loves that you hate? I've got a list.
Ooh, hold on.
I'll start while you think.
Yeah, go ahead.
JoJo's.
You hate it? Like
now I do.
But do you hate it because of it or do you hate it because of people?
I think JoJo's is a good show. I simply do not understand the dick riding. Like I've said this through and through. I think JoJo's is decent enough. Like it's an enjoyable show, but I cannot fathom the people saying that it's like even top 10. Like that's insane to me. I just don't understand how that's possible. Another show that everybody loves that I hate, Hunter.
So true, King.
I'm the number one hater.
But is it another case of you think it's okay, but you just think the dick riding is crazy?
Yes.
Okay. But is there a show you hate and you think is dog shit that everybody likes?
Okay, let me actually think.
See, it's not easy though. Like it's not easy to think of as like a show that's actually I think is dog shit that everybody fucking loves.
Because the thing is, like, if the show is dog shit, I'm dropping it like 2 episodes in. Like
that is also true.
I'm not watching it. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's rough.
The closest I could think of is Cowboy Bebop because like I just couldn't get into that shit.
Same actually. Cowboy Bebop would be the one for me.
I gave it 5 like bro, that's 1/5 of the show. Like I gave it a good amount of episodes, but like I just couldn't get into it, so I dropped it. But I don't think it's a horrible show. It's just not for me at all. I understand. I understand the love. You know what I'm saying? Face titties be tittying. You know what I'm saying? And the characters are cool and it looks great. It's just that I can't get in. And especially me being an animation nut back then, it should have immediately sucked me in. I should have been like that shit should have been like down its throat, but it's not.
We can definitely have a discussion about how ReZero only got popular because of dudes that have never met a woman before self-inserting themselves into that character and being like, wow, 2 really beautiful waifus in maid outfits. That could be me. Yosha. Like, bro, no.
Nah, because I really still need to understand how niggas were out here pining for this show. Meanwhile, like for the instance, right? Every character that's on the poster with him is supposed to be like a love interest, right? Or a potential love interest. Because it's like an RPG where it's like, this man could go in whatever route he want.
Yep.
Why is the child on there though? Why is the girl that's like, oh, I'm 1,000 years old, but like she's literally a kid. Why is she on there? Like, why is she even included?
Apply the pressure.
Like, why is she even like a thought? You get me? Like, I understand. Like, he didn't even go for, I hope he didn't. I didn't watch it anymore in fucking season 1, I think. But like, I hope he didn't go for it at all. But like, why is she even like included in those pieces of imagery? Because like every time, and like you can try and disagree as much as you want, but like every time they're showing like all of the love interests in like one shot, why is the kid there though?
If you got my stream pulled up, are you talking about this shit? This girl on the bottom left?
Yeah, bottom left, yeah. But like in the show, like every time that you are getting to that, yeah, we're not going to talk about.
Yikes.
We're also there is a show that's like literally about a pedophile that people fuck with.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's hold on, let me actually see the English name for this shit because I'm not saying this shit in Japanese. Jobless reincarnation. It's literally about a man who gets like reincarnated into a kid's body and is trying to like fuck the girls that are the same age as him in that other world. A 34-year-old underachiever gets run on by a bus and then he gets reincarnated as an infant and starts trying to get with the other infants.
What the fuck?
But look, Omega, right? It's got good animation, so that's why people like
Oh, nah.
No, actually though, like that's actually the reason why some people like it. They're like, yo, the animation is so good. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the animation is good, but no, they could keep that shit.
Nope. That is, first of all, what kind of a sick, twisted motherfucker you gotta be to even think of that show? Is that what you think the show is about?
I literally read the fucking synopsis. Like I read it. Like, hold on. That's I read it like word for word.
Bar for bar.
Besides, I wanting to, because like obviously it wasn't written in the synopsis, but he, like, I don't, like, what do you think the show is about? That's good animation.
I'm not gonna lie, like, it doesn't really matter what the show's about. If the 35-year-old or 36-year-old man or whatever gets reincarnated as a kid and is trying to rizz up children, I'm sorry, like, arrest that man. And whoever the fuck made that anime, put that nigga on a list. If you think hold on, that must mean that you think the only thing, I'm not even going to say that because that's just a disturbing thought that I don't even want to think about. Anyways.
That is weird. Like, frankly, like, hey man, go ahead and like whatever you want to like. Just, you know, alert the police station, you know?
Yeah. That's kind of weird, champ. But
also 7 Deadly Sins on that same shit. I don't fuck with it at all for that, especially. Also, the show is ass. That's the show that I hate that everybody, because like I actually hate that show. I don't like it. Do not enjoy that show at all.
Fair enough.
So that was my pick.
What anime or I guess you could say cartoon as well, but which anime or cartoon would you say has your favorite like either art style or like animation or something? Like which anime do you think is just like a visual treat? Like gotta be like up there with you know, you could give me like a top 3. I know picking your favorite might be hard.
Yeah. Damn, that's a good one though. So Megalobox looks fucking fantastic.
Sexy.
That's one of them. That's one of them, definitely. I wouldn't call it my top though, but that shit it looks so good. Fuck, man. Like I would say that like obviously shit like Redline, but like that's a movie. But Redline is like untapped. Like that's like the best looking anime movie ever made or some shit. Frankly. But yeah, fuck, man. That's all right. What would you pick?
Bleach is up there for me in terms of like character designs. I think Bleach has some.
Which look? Are you talking about like the old look or the
no?
Like the new one looks pretty different.
I would say like definitely not in the beginning of Bleach because I think Kubo needed to like come into his style a little bit more. So I would say like right around like you know the final Getsuga arc or whatever, you know, like that sort of art style is probably my favorite. You know, the most recent stuff is still fire too. I definitely like the most recent shit too. But I just think that even when you take like the original like Bleach designs, I just think that the character designs in general are just some of the best I've ever seen in like an anime. So I fuck with that. If I had to choose, I gotta throw a 90s anime in there. So I'm kind of leaning towards either Yu Yu or like Sailor Moon or something like that. I really think those anime just like have so much sauce and drip. And then I have to include Mob just for the animation. Because
that's facts.
like Mob is just, oh my God.
Yeah, no, that's fuck. Obviously, I'll probably say that. Obviously, you mentioned you hadn't seen it, but Gintama in like the last movie, like that is a visual treat. Like it just looks so good. I fucked with that. Thankfully that got finished. We love to see that. Fuck. And frankly, I'm thinking Vinland. Like I don't want to be that guy.
Ooh,
Vinland. Vinland looks so fucking good, man.
Okay.
Like I'll go up to see
I gotta
Vinland,
rewatch Vinland before season 2 come out, bro.
Vinland is so good.
I love Vinland Saga. I'm a dick writer.
Yeah. That is a great looking show.
Yeah.
We
have a question in the chat coming from Pocahontas. Do you think Soul Eater deserves a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood type of a treatment? Soul Eater is one of those shows that a lot of people, or I guess I should say manga, because apparently the anime's ass. But I know Soul Eater is one of those that like people be dick riding.
Yeah, I need it so bad.
Bro, you a Soul Eater dick rider?
Bro, I read the whole thing, bro. I own a few volumes, like, but I read the whole thing, bro. And I'm telling you, first of all, unfortunately, if you've watched, like, I don't like when people say this, but when you've watched the Soul Eater anime, you haven't actually like seen most of it. Like, it ends at chapter 37. There's 110 chapters in that fucking manga. Like, only like 1/3 of it has actually been covered. Some of the best fight, bro. Like I'm telling you, fucking Black Star, bro. He gets another fucking fight, but you never see it in the anime. He gets another big fight, but you don't see it. It's so it's racially charged, frankly. It just makes me cry.
I'm gonna say Soul Eater, you know, for sure. I'm hoping for you guys, but low key, bro. I don't let anybody know that I said this because I'm gonna get put on like 12 watch lists. If they could like remake Tokyo Ghoul but not fumble the bag,
that's facts.
That's fact.
No, spit. Say it, bro.
That would be fire.
Nah, because that's also annoying, bro. Because with the fact that like manga has to like actually get adapted, sometimes studios just say, fuck that, I'm not doing it. Because why? Right? Because why are you gonna
so
cover?
Passionate.
Because why you go cover, right? Why you gonna cover the entire fucking Tokyo Ghoul fucking part, but then for the second half of the shit, you just say, I'm not gonna do that. What they did in that book. I'm doing my own thing. And then you do the sequel series and act like you didn't do that. How you gonna act? Shit didn't happen in the anime. You had to read the manga to get it. How do you do that? How do you do that and think that's cool? Like I don't understand.
Yo, real shit.
Fix that shit up.
I do not read manga ever. I don't like it. Will not read that shit. That Tokyo Ghoul manga had me tapped in. I'm not gonna lie. That shit was fire.
Why'd they do that, man? I don't get it. I still don't get it.
Shit made me pissed that I watched the anime. I was like, bro, this is nothing like what this is supposed to be. You know, it'd be like that.
Hey, as long as like they put that Mob Psycho like pussy into Soul Eater's remake, then I'm down for that.
Have you read Dead Man Wonderland?
Oh yeah, I have.
Oh,
Need that too.
That's a Giga Chat show.
See, that one is unfortunate because the studio that like was doing it, like they like got fucking destroyed or whatever the fuck. They got bankrupt. So like that's why they never finished the anime. But yeah, no, I need that hard. I need that immediately.
Dead Man Wonderland is a goated manga.
So fucking goated, man. And it's also short. Like you're not sitting here reading for 10 years. It's so fire. I need that remake as well. Man, I hate it here, bro. Why life sucks? Like, like what the fuck? Obviously, Twin Star Exorcist as well, but I'm not gonna sit here and pine for one of my favorite manga like that, bro. I'm not gonna cry on. I'm not gonna cry on camera, bro. That's not it. Damn. But we need that. We need that remake as well. And it's annoying because the guy, chat, you gonna hear this and you're gonna get mad, right? The guy, right, who directed the Twin Star anime and said, hey, you know that manga? Fuck that, right? The guy that did that, right? He's the one directing Bleach. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. I'm so mad.
That's crazy.
I'm so fucking mad. That pisses me off.
That's crazy.
How are you gonna create now some of the most fucking direct from the book ass shit, and you fucked my shit up for what reason? Nah, that pisses me off. I don't give a fuck. I'm angry. I'm baby raging. I do not care.
Actually,
that pisses me off.
Twin Star Exorcist is another one of those things, like kind of like Steven Universe, where I will not read that because Zach Gard is a fan of it. So
that pisses me off. Zach Gard, why'd you fuck up my shit, bro? Because me and Lotus will tell you that is one of the most high quality and great looking. It just looks great. That manga looks great. But Zach Gard just has to exist. Fuck her. Why?
Damn, that's tough. Twin Star fell off anyways. This is coming from a One Piece fan. This guy.
Yo, how are you gonna say Twin Star fell off? You ugly.
Damn.
How you gonna say Twin Star fell off? You ugly as hell. Pissing me off. Anyways, let's continue.
I don't really have any more anime or cartoon topics, but we could talk about.
You were gonna say if you want to talk about. Or we could talk about Wakanda. You know, we could talk about either. You know, go ahead. Your decision. It's your podcast.
It is my podcast, but I'm a gentleman. What would you?
I like how you just love talking into the mic now. You just want to hear it.
That sounds good. What can I say?
You want to get the feedback in your own ears.
All right. Well, we can talk about Black Panther 2. What did you think about the movie?
I fucked that movie a lot more than the first one, and I'm gonna say why. Right? Because after I say that, like people are really like, "Oh, so you just you just don't care about characters or anything." No, but I think that this is well, okay. Now, to be fair, it's a pretty heavy like topic to touch on because recently my girlfriend's dad passed away, and that hit me a little hard too.
Damn.
Because I knew him for like a year or whatever. So that it did hit me hard. Like when the first scene in the movie is, you know, but I think the movie itself like tackled grief in a very realistic and very good way. I think that like it's the most mature Marvel movie they've ever released. Like frankly, like it didn't decide to make jokes about it or like turning it into quips or whatever the fuck. They treated it like it was really serious because it was, right? And it's not like it was just like in the movie sense. It was like literally Ryan Coogler was like Boseman's best, like one of his best friends or whatever, as far as I understand. So like that was like everybody who was creating that movie was like using it as their like mourning shit as well. Like that's I think that's really great. But I also think that the character development is also just really good. Like I think that like the way that Shuri and Namor like kind of mirror each other, I think that that's really fucking good.
I did like that aspect, yeah.
I love that it actually shows Wakanda more than the first one. The first one doesn't really show Wakanda like that. We like get like very few like far away shots of her, but like in this one we're in Wakanda for a good amount of it. I fucks with that. I fucks that where we see Talokan. I fucks with a lot of that, to be honest.
See, because when I went to go see Black Panther 2, I had only heard about what people were saying like on Twitter and stuff. And everybody was like, oh, like the whole movie is like depressing. The whole movie is like about Chadwick Boseman and all that stuff or whatever. And like when I went to go watch it, that's kind of what I was expecting. And it's really not. Like it does deal with grief, but not in a direct in front of your face way. Like I thought it was going to, from what people were saying like on Twitter or whatever. Like, because obviously the whole movie is Shuri like kind of like coming to terms with that and like trying to literally going through the stages of grief like throughout the entire film. And I really did like what really got me, I think, was the ending. Like that ending segment.
Yeah.
That shit.
Oh, are you talking about the credit scene?
Yeah. Like
nah, because why'd they cast him so well though? Why'd they cast him so well though?
That shit hit. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I was like that. Like, you know, like, damn, that shit hit. They did. I like that. You know, I like Namor Namor is one of the better like characters they've.
That's a sexy ass nigga, by the way.
Oh, bro,
that's a sexy ass nigga.
I had to like put my hands in front of Lena's eyes a couple times during the movie. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay. My girl had to do that for me when we watched the Batman.
That's real. That's real. Nah, but yeah. So, and another good thing, the thing that I always appreciate about Black Panther is like, even though like the first movie wasn't that great or whatever, like the fact that movie was being like made and like they casted like just like a bunch of like, you know, black people and shit like that. Like it's like a black made film and it's like a blockbuster Hollywood, like, you know what I mean? Like that just was good to see because like we don't see that shit that much. You know, you don't see a movie making like hundreds of millions or billions or whatever in the box office and it's being made by black folks. You know, like you don't really see that. So like I love Black Panther for the aspect of like it's a celebration of like culture and like and stuff like that. And it's beautiful to see that. Like to I hope that shows Hollywood that like you can have, you know, predominantly black films or indigenous films or, you know, whatever, and still have them be bangers. Like that I hope that shows them that you can make a blockbuster Hollywood film and it doesn't have to be a white guy on the cover. It could be anybody on that cover and it'll still do well. If as long as you put in the work and love into it, it will do well. Because what Black Panther was one of the most successful Marvel movies, right? Like if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. At the time, especially, it was very, very
Yeah.
successful.
So like like it doesn't matter if you have a black guy on the front or an indigenous person on the front or whoever. Like it's going to do numbers as long as you give it that love that it deserves. And Black Panther was made with a lot of love.
Yeah, and I think the cool thing is that like, because remember the last movie, there was a few white people in it. We had obviously like the villain, and we also had the fucking guy that works with him on the CIA or whatever the fuck, whatever his name is, I forgot.
I forgot his name too, but I know who you're
Ross,
talking about.
I think. But yeah, now but for Wakanda Forever, there is no like white people on the cover at all. Like zero. Like Ross isn't on the cover there. I'm just like, let's go.
W's.
Right?
You love to see it.
W's.
And before any fucking white guy goes, bro, we're just talking about like this is a movie like clearly.
He's not important enough to the movie anyway.
Right, exactly. He's like literally a side of a side of a side character. Like you would not have this nigga on the front cover. Like this movie is about the Wakandans getting over the loss of their king, and low key like about us getting over the loss of Chadwick Boseman. Like that's really what it is.
Yeah, for people to act like they weren't out here like also like feeling like his death. Like we didn't know him like that, but we still like felt it.
Like it was depressing because one, he was young, and two, it came out of fucking nowhere. Like he was filming Black Panther while battling cancer. Like that is insane. Like
yeah, the shit was really sad though, because since people didn't know, they like every time he would like be on, like people would be immediately jump to like him doing drugs or whatever when he was literally just dying from cancer. And that's just what it does to your body. Your body just deteriorates. And people are like, oh my, because every time he would show himself for the last few months, and he would like be skinny, right? And like he'd be skinny, he wouldn't look that, he would look sickly. Like people would be like, oh, look at him, he's doing coke. You know, it's like, why would you jump to that, man? Like, I don't know, man.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. The internet is a horrible and miserable place. Yeah. Depressing.
Very depressing.
But yeah, man, look, you know, Black Panther, you know,
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever, man. I cocked with it, you know. I don't think like off of the initial watch, I didn't really like love it like how people were like talking about on Twitter. And I still don't think I really like love it as a movie, but I appreciate it a lot. And I think like when I think about it more, like I'm like, yeah, you know, I did appreciate that movie. And I think like I would really like to watch it again with like, you know, a different perspective on it and, you know, maybe even enjoy it a bit more.
Yeah. Now I will say, I don't know if this is a hot take. Oh, I'm sorry. I was hearing some.
Oh, I thought this nigga died. I was like, damn.
No, I was hearing some beats from like I think down the street or something. The fuck? Oh, that was my TV. I was mad confused, bro. Hold on, 1 second.
I thought he was about to leak some shit, and Hillary Clinton had to go, you know, take care of business.
I was gonna say like I actually don't fuck with the yassification of M'Baku though. And what I mean by that is I fucks with M'Baku. He's like my favorite side character, to be honest, in Marvel right now. But like everybody is so like gung ho to want to give him a show or whatever. And I think that is not the way.
I mean, I'd let him fuck me, but yeah, that's about it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, on God.
Like, on God.
That's a sexy ass nigga. Even though he kind of just looks like Moon. But still. Like
exactly. You feel what I'm saying.
Like I don't want them to ruin him. Because I feel like he works best as a side character. I feel like that's like his best thing. So I just don't want them to try and like make him a main character in like a show or something. And
I didn't know people were trying to do that. I wouldn't want that either.
Because as soon as it came out that in the writing stages, so pretty much they wrote Black Panther 2 with Chadwick Boseman because they didn't know he was gonna fucking die. But after he died, they had to rewrite while mourning. They had to rewrite the movie, and that's why the movie is the way that it is. But they said that while writing the movie, they were also doing drafts that had either M'Baku or Nakia, which is Lupita Nyong'o's character, be the Black Panther instead of Shuri, right? But Shuri ended up being Black Panther because there's more thematic sense for
Yeah,
her
that
to pick up the mantle
definitely
or
made a
whatever.
lot more sense. Yeah.
And I'm just saying, even though the Lupita Nyong'o gun, you know what I'm saying? Still,
I personally do not agree with that assessment.
I'm just kidding. I would not ever say that about another woman besides my queen. But still, I would.
yo.
No, but I think that it obviously made more sense for Shuri, but people, since they saw that it was even possible, and the ending of the movie, if you don't remember M'Baku's last scene, like people are like saying they need an M'Baku show and that M'Baku needs a show or whatever. And I'm like, nah, I don't think we need that.
Yeah, we definitely do not. But so I don't know if you saw the trailer when you went to go see Black Panther, because I know I did. Did you see the trailer for the new Avatar movie, the Blue People movie?
Oh yeah, I did.
What'd you think?
Look, it looks good, and I might see it if my girl wants to see it. But frankly, like
I feel like some of the scenes, because I remember when I was watching the trailer on in the movie theater, I was like, you know, some of these scenes are like breathtakingly beautiful.
Yeah.
And then some of them look like PS2. So I was kind of confused. I mean,
it's a very wide spectrum.
Yeah, it was a very mixed bag. And I feel like it just makes no sense why they waited all this time to like make this movie. Like, does anybody care? Like, do you think this movie finna do numbers?
So what I'm telling you though, James Cameron has made all of these movies as far as I understand. Like he's gone and ahead and made, I think, more than just this one. So that's why it's taken so long. He was just literally that, and he was going to like the bottom of the Mariana Trench or something like that. Like, I don't know, this motherfucker was just, he had side projects. But yeah, that's what we pretty much been waiting on instead of just this movie being done. I don't think it's worth the wait though. And I think that the fact that it has been so long though, people will probably go and revisit it. Like they would go and see the new movie because they know they saw the last movie like 13 years ago rather than it coming out a few years later. And they were like, I don't really care that much about the movie. Because everybody that complains about like not remembering Avatar, I'm like, bro, you watched it in 2009 and you never watched it again.
Yeah. So
of course you don't remember the niggas' names. Like, of course you don't remember anything because that was literally more than half your life ago. Yeah, makes sense. But I am not in love with that movie, but I might see this new one just because like this is like a visual spectacle on some shit. It's crazy. Like I don't even know how the fuck.
I feel like
it's wild.
I feel like Avatar is dog shit. Is that crazy to say?
It's not crazy. It's not like a hot take or anything. People like on the internet just think it's pretty ass.
Like I remember watching it when I was young or whatever. I think I was like a teenager when it came out or whatever, and I was like, okay, like I mean, I think I liked it because everybody liked it or whatever. It's like you're supposed to, like I just felt you were supposed to like that movie or whatever the fuck, and then like going back and like trying to rewatch it or whatever, and I was like, what is the point of this? Like I don't care. Like does this world, do these characters really need a sequel? Like I don't fucking know.
Now I know you're thinking, do they need a sequel? But do they need 7 movies?
See, now that's crazy. Like
because that's what they're making.
I feel like they're trying to brute force a franchise. I feel like you can't do that. Like I feel like a franchise gotta like be a franchise. It feels like they just said like, oh, we're gonna take this movie that was successful and now we're just gonna make it a franchise because fuck it.
Nah, because it's crazy. So this movie's also 3 hours long. Don't like that.
Yikes.
Crazy behavior to make this shit. It's more than 3 hours. Like 3 hours and like 11 minutes long. Crazy to put that out and think that that's cool. But James Cameron, when someone asked about like, what if somebody has to go to the bathroom? He's like, oh, go to the bathroom because you're gonna see that scene anyway when you see it again. And I'm like, that is a crazy thing to say.
This nigga got balls on him.
This nigga he is sucking his own penis while he's interviewing him. Like, I don't know how the fuck he's got such a big. I mean, he must think this movie's literally top of the line movie.
I'm not gonna lie. When like a few years ago, I feel like I really liked it when a movie was like, you know, 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2 hours and 30. Like I really liked movies over 2 hours. Now, if I see over 2 hours,
bro,
I don't know, Gang of Lynch.
That's why Venom 2 was so refreshing. That movie's only an hour 30.
Bring
It's
back
it,
an hour and 30, bro. Like,
no,
dead
for
ass.
real. Like that's like the shortest superhero movie ever, bro. Make these movies hour 30, bro. You can do it without like having the movie be ass. Don't let that be the reason. Because the movie doesn't have to be 2 hours and 30 to be good. Like, frankly, tell me. Just like, come on, bro. Make shorter movies, bro. It's so much better for rewatching too.
That's fact. Like,
I think 2 hours should be the max, and that's only because Spider-Verse is that long. That's the only reason why I'm saying that.
I've rewatched Whiplash 3 billion times, and I think it's because that movie's like short. I think that movie's like an hour and a half or something, or at least it feels short. But yeah, let me see how long this fucking movie is. Whiplash runtime, hour 47. You know, like, perfect. Like, let's do that. Like, come on now. Like, over 2 hours is heresy. If you're over 2 hours and you're not like, you know, The Departed or like, I don't know, some fucking like crazy ass, like good ass movie, like, bro, don't do it.
All right. See, this also kind of wraps around back into Wakanda Forever though, because frankly, I'm not gonna lie, the movie did not need to be that long. It didn't.
I kind of felt like, even though like that movie was long, it didn't like feel that long to me. I don't know if I'm high, but it didn't feel that long.
Nah, because you know when I felt it though?
What's that?
When Mans came back and he said, I'll be back in a week. And then we had to wait, and then we got the final confrontation. If it ended there instead, it would have made like, but like obviously they didn't do it in the way where we had the big reveal and shit. So I'm like, that's when I started to feel the length. And I think that was around like 2 hours in. And the last 3 minutes was the last shit. And I'm like, So like frankly, I feel like there could have been like a fix in the script to like actually make this shit work. But
Okay.
oh well.
All right. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
It'd be like that.
Fuck long movies. But let's wrap our legs around to this topic here. Korean and Japanese dramas on Netflix. What have you watched? What are some of your favorites?
All right, so my girl and I have watched Extraordinary Attorney Woo.
Oh, I have not watched that. That seemed like a kind of a comical series, is it? Or
it has some comedy moments, but like it's pretty heartfelt though. So I'll give you the very basic.
Okay.
So pretty much the main character has autism, right? Mm-hmm. And she grew up with her father being a lawyer. So she like had been reading his law books. And so she pretty much is like the best lawyer ever, frankly. But nobody will hire her because she has autism. There's like a built-in like bias against people with autism.
Jesus. Right?
Yeah. Especially when it comes to like being in the courtroom setting or whatever, because like she doesn't function the same way everyone else does.
Right.
And she gets like super overwhelmed really easily. So like that basic thing is like a roadblock where she can't get hired. But then she gets hired to one of the biggest firms, right? And she has to pretty much break through that bias with everybody at that firm and prove that she could just be a great attorney despite the fact that she has a disability.
Ooh, that sounds kind of fire. Okay.
And it's also like, you know, partially romantic. So it's a great to watch with your llama. You get me, you get me, you get me, you get me. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a really charming show though. It's like really heartfelt. Yeah. And it's got some good drama. So I fucks with that.
Okay. Any other ones you cocking with?
I watched some of Alice in Borderland. I haven't seen because like I watched it before I got with my girl.
You got to watch Alice in Borderland.
No, because I saw season. No, because right before this, I saw there was season 2 images, and I'm like, damn.
Oh yeah. It's coming out in a couple weeks. I'm so locked in.
No, I gotta get in there. Yeah, that's one of them. I gotta fucking see the other ones, but yeah, there's a few Netflix dramas that I just fuck with.
All right, bro.
I don't know why they like. I guess that's just like they knew that would be popular.
Yeah, so I don't know, like, but I'm glad that they did it. I'm about to put my cock on the table. Here's the ones y'all need to watch, bro. First of all of Us Are Dead is fire. I think everybody's seen that. Have you seen it?
All of Us Are Dead? No, my girl's seen it. I gotta watch it.
Gangalanche, must watch. All of Us Are Dead is Giga Chad. Alice in Borderland, must watch. Sweet Home is fire. Hellbound is absolute Giga Chad as well. Hellbound will fuck with your mind a lot, bro. One, I don't know if it's a Korean drama or a J drama. I'm not sure which one it is, but I need to watch Kingdom. Have you seen Kingdom?
I've seen a few episodes with Moon, and yeah, it was pretty fire, to be honest.
Dang,
yeah,
I need to watch that. But yeah, so and a lot of these like K dramas and J dramas are getting season 2s. Like Alice in Borderland season 2 is coming out soon. I think I heard them talking about Sweet Home season 2 and All of Us Are Dead season 2. I'm sure Hellbound will get a season, because Hellbound, I'm not gonna lie, if you end up watching Hellbound, it ends on like a pretty mind-blowing cliffhanger to where like I
Is
need
Hellbound is that the show that came like right after Squid Game? And that I think it might
I
be.
don't remember, but I can tell you the synopsis. So pretty much
Okay.
what happens is like a malevolent figure or whatever the fuck like just shows up out of nowhere to random people and is like, on this day at this time you will die. And then on that day, on that time, like 3 or 4 brolic looking demon niggas come out of nowhere and beat the shit out of you until you die type shit. So then this shit starts to become widespread, and then it becomes like mass hysteria type shit. Everybody's like fearful of when their judgment is going to come. And then there's like this group or company or whatever the fuck you want to call it. They start being like, yo, like, this is because you niggas is sinners. Like, you got to be on this religious tip. Like, if you not with our God type, then, like, you're going to get the royal decree, and then you're going to get your shit beat in front of your friends and family and shit. Like, then you finna die. So then a whole bunch of bullshit. It's a lot more intricate than that, but that's about the rough estimate. Pretty much, you get a decree from, like, a supernatural being that's like, on this day at this time, you will die. And then on that day at that time, no matter what, you will die. So yeah, it's
That is
pretty
fire.
fucking crazy. It's very
Yeah.
Giga Chads. I love that show. Sweet Home is a show that's about like this kid. I think like he's pretty much like a failure or some shit. He's just like some gamer, so he think he me or something. So then like I think he like moves out or gets kicked out of his house, some bullshit like that. And he like ends up like on this in this like hotel or some bullshit with a bunch of other characters or whatever. And then as that happens, like some zombie outbreak type shit starts happening. And then they're locked in that room. And then there's like a bunch of like monsters or demons or whatever that are roaming around the hotel and shit. And it gets like really intricate. And then at like towards the second half and towards the end, it becomes like almost like on some shonen animation. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I think I fucked with it. I liked it. I very much liked
Nice.
it. So I'm looking forward to a season 2 of that. Apparently,
Yeah,
it had a
Netflix
webtoon.
Netflix got those.
Nah, it does. Like that's the only reason why Netflix is worth having. That, and then they still like Netflix will have their reality drama shows or whatever. That I'm sorry, Gango. Like that's just a need. I be cocking with that.
Yeah. What are your opinions on fuck? I was about to ask. Oh, Squid Game.
Squid
What do
Game
you think
is
about?
Squid Game is Giga Chat. I love that show. I cannot wait for season 2.
So okay. I was about to ask, so do you agree with them making a season 2? You think that was,
I mean,
because I know that some people aren't.
I feel like the first season ended like pretty well. But you know, with the way it ended, there are questions that like still need to be answered. Like there were still some like, okay, so like uh they're continuing the games, they're still doing this shit, like whatever. I think if they never left that breadcrumb, I feel like the ending would have been like fine. It would have been fire. They could have still left that breadcrumb and then did that ending, and then you could like make your own ending. Like
Yeah.
he continues down that path, he does that or whatever. But and I like the prospect of Squid Game a lot, but I kind of feel like for a season 2, like the reason why Squid Game worked so well is because it was new and fresh or whatever. But now that we know how the Squid Games work, like I wonder if they're still going to be able to make season 2 as interesting as season 1. You know, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. I really thought that shit was pretty good, but like I remember just so much hate after seeing the ending.
I feel like
I was mad confused.
like it did kind of suck that like the ending was pretty much like they did it literally for the lulz or whatever. Like I'm just like that's like I feel like they could have thought of some like a better reason to do all the Squid Game bullshit. Like why, you know? But you know, and then obviously the twist with like, you know, that guy being like the orchestrator of everything or whatever. I think a lot of people had a problem with that too. But overall, I don't think it ruined the show for me because from episode to episode, I still really enjoyed it. And I think that like it's still like a really tense show, even with, you know, with that stuff or whatever. So, you know, I don't think it didn't ruin the show for me.
All right, I'm gonna hit you with a hypothetical right now.
All right, go ahead.
You wake up tomorrow, you got $4.5 million more in your bank account. What are you doing? What is your immediate reaction?
Probably gonna shit myself. If we're getting over the initial shock and me being like, how did this happen, all that other bullshit, if we're just saying like, okay, I just got this 4.5 mil, first thing
You don't know why, you don't know where it came from, it just happened.
First thing I'm doing, buying a cribbo, you know what I'm saying, for me and my llama, you know what I mean, you know, making sure my mom's and my sister and shit, you know, making sure they all set up in their homes or whatever the fuck, doing my thing type, you know, be like that nice little humble abode type shit. And then after that, I really don't know. I'm gonna be honest.
You can very easily tell the age of somebody by the way they answer this question. Like for instance, Mort saying ordering hella shit off Amazon, bawling. That's how you know this nigga's 12. This nigga is 12. That's how you could fucking tell he's 12.
Yeah.
I would also be so scared. I would like wait like a while. I'd wait at least a month or something.
Yeah, I feel like most people would do that because you never know, like if this is like a glitch or whatever the fuck, and then you need to give that money back and you spent it all. Yikes.
Yeah, last thing I expect is the fucking U.S. Treasury being like, oh yeah, sorry, we actually deposited all of the tax payments for this fucking month into your account.
That's why like I said, assuming like I get past that initial shock and all that bullshit, like that's what I would do. Because if this were to happen like realistically, like I think nobody would spend that money because I think that would just be a stupid thing to do. You'd have to know where it came from or whatever.
Yeah, I would, if anything, personally, I would like still use the account, but like I'd probably put it off into like the savings and then just like pay off any debts that I have really quick, which is not a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like my 50K student debt, like pay that off, you know, just get rid of that out the way so that I don't have to deal with interest, right? And then just like kind of like chill for a month or so, just wait. You know what I'm saying? If it gets taken out of my account after, like, okay, but at least then I'm out of that actual debt. That has the interest and shit, and I'm just like having to deal with my credit union. So I mean, to be honest, I would just be super chill with it. If it was gonna just stay there and there was no issue, then I'm getting a house and everything. And I'm not getting a crazy house. I'm getting like a house within my means, and then I'm investing a lot of the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If I were to get a house, I'd get, you know, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and that's all I would need. Because, you know, I'd have an office for me, an office for Lena, and then our bedroom, and then that's all we would need.
Yeah, because like I would get a house with them like that I would still be able to pay for if I, you know.
Right. If all that shit like, disappeared type.
Yeah. Same with a car. Like I'm not getting a Lambo. I'm getting like a car that I can afford that's like new that I would be able to still pay for if I, you know.
That's real. That's real.
I don't need land because I'm not good. I'm not good with that shit anyway. Right now, so nah.
Chat and YouTube, what would you guys do with 4.5 million? Let me know in the comment section. But I think that is a wrap on this episode of the Cult Cast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. It was a banger. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know you guys enjoyed it, let's be honest. Thank you to Toastie for coming on. Toastie, where can they find you at? You know, do you got anything you want to say to the people before you bounce out?
I got ZZ Toastie on Twitter. As if Twitter sucks, that's on Hive as well.
Hey, Hive.
Yeah, Hive. Yeah, what do we got? Like Hive Gang? Like I don't even know, bro. Anyways,
the Hive. Let's get it.
The Hive. The same. Like it's ZZ Toastie on everything. So if it's something, then I'm on there probably.
Yes, sir. And you know, Toastie, one of the OGs, bro. You know, he one of the OGs in his YouTube game, just like me. You feel what I'm saying?
A good few people who probably like still watch you. Probably watch me, but they like don't follow Twitter or nothing. So they probably just thought I actually died. They probably thought that I'm dead.
They're gonna be like, wow, Toastie's alive. Yes, he is alive and well. He is doing excellently. Again, thank you guys for watching this episode of the Cult Cast. Like, comment, subscribe. Of course, I'll see you guys next Friday on Twitch or next Saturday on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Have a damn good rest of your day.